Well, it's match week 1 of the Champions League, and the two teams that finished second in La Liga and Liga go head to head at the Santiago Bernabeu. It's Real Madrid versus Marseille, and what a game we have on our hands here with two teams with attacking philosophies. Oh, this is going to be a cracking game. Couldn't wait for this one. When I saw the fixture list here of all the teams that are there playing yesterday and today, this one was the standout one because of the way that De Zerbi likes to set his team up in the attacking manner, and watching Real Madrid play under Xabi Alonso in the Champions League for the first time. He made a big decision by benching Vinicius Jr. for this game. That was all the headlines early on when the team news did arrive, but there's so much quality in the Real Madrid team here. Here's Arda Güler, who has gotten a new lease of life under Xabi Alonso. He and Kylian Mbappe already forming that deadly partnership early on. Here's Rodrigo's on the left-hand side now. He's flicked the ball out to Carreras, the left back, and it nearly found Mbappe! Oh, it's just wide. Kylian Mbappe with the acrobatics, and Real Madrid nearly getting the perfect start. Brilliant run by Alvaro Carreras on the left-hand side there. Rodrigo and the left back combining. He's just whipped this ball into the box. A bit fortuitous as to how it falls to Mbappe, and he's so close. Kylian Mbappe with nearly the perfect start for Real Madrid. It's a mess at the back. I think that's Højbjerg with the loose touch in the box. And Real Madrid nearly punishing Marseille with their first attack. Well, Balerdi is giving the ball away, and Arda Güler is looking to turn here. Marseille at 6s and 7s already. Real Madrid at full press here. No room to breathe for Marseille. Marseille with the 4-2-3-1 themselves. They got Højbjerg and Jeffrey Kondogbia as their midfield pivot. They'll have to cover a lot of ground. Here's the very impressive Franco Mastantuono, 18 years of age, from Argentina, from River Plate, and what a huge boost this is, isn't it? Oh, they've showed a replay there with the keeper Rui nearly making an absolute mess, and now Marseille on the right hand side through Mason Greenwood attacking its end to end already. Oh, it's nearly found O'Reilly. Good play there from Marseille, just showing what they're all about. This game already has an openness to it. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who hasn't established himself in the Real Madrid backline yet, getting the opportunity. Oh, the pass there was fizzed in with pace there by O'Reilly, nearly finding the left back Emerson. Emerson, of course, formerly of Chelsea and West Ham. He's found his home now in France with Marseille. Oh, Alexander-Arnold's already gone to ground here. It does not look good. They'll be hoping that it's something of a contact injury more than anything else. Trent Alexander-Arnold's nightmare start to life at Real Madrid might just get even worse here. Let's have a look. Oh, he's pulled his hamstring. No challenge, no one near it. Alexander-Arnold's evening has come to an end. Xabi Alonso will have to make the change. It's terrible news for Alexander-Arnold, and it just goes from bad to worse for the former Liverpool right back. Unfortunate for him. Real Madrid will have to make that quick switch now with Dani Carvajal coming in. He'll get the captain's armband too. Of course, 36-year-old still going strong for Real Madrid despite having that terrible ACL injury after winning the Champions League. They wouldn't take the risk with Trent here. Despite how much Trent will want to carry on, he won't be able to do so. And Carvajal is booted and ready to go here. Unfortunate for Real Madrid. Very, very bad news for Trent. That was the chance that Kylian Mbappe had, and he was very, very close. And on the other end, we saw Rui with some schoolboy goalkeeping work there, nearly conceding out of absolutely nothing. Well, Trent's disappointment is visible on his face, and this club captain Dani Carvajal will slot in at right back. Early change for Real Madrid. It wouldn't change too much in terms of tactics. It's a like-for-like substitution. Carvajal, of course, is a boss in that position. Courtois goes long. You see Mbappe there. He's got frightening pace. Just pushes the defensive line back immediately. Mastantuono almost gets there first, and he will get the touch. It's a bit heavy. Oh, it's nimble-footed. Hits the post. Well, that is magnificent work by the Argentine. He's asking for a penalty, and he wouldn't be too wrong asking that question. Electric work from Franco Mastantuono. Wow, it's brilliant. Such a tight space. He had to wriggle away from the challenge. Oh, it was class. That's how dangerous Real Madrid are. All they need, a couple of passes, and my goodness. Here's Dean Huijsen to Militao. It's going to be that centre-half partnership, isn't it, between these two that is going to be the cornerstone to Real Madrid's success. I mean, Dean Huijsen is an unbelievable signing for Real Madrid. Saw him at Bournemouth last season, and my word, I know that Chelsea was scouting him heavily and were interested, put the bid in, but when Real Madrid come knocking, especially for a Spanish player, there's absolutely no chance. Oh, that is such nimble-footedness. Look at this. The agility, the presence of mind here by Franco. Oh, the flick is so brilliant. Nearly denied the dream debut goal for the young Argentine. Well, 2 chances already for Real Madrid. It's warning signs for Marseille. Haven't gotten hold of the ball whatsoever. They need to try and be as compact as possible. Here's Emerson. Here's Timothy Weah. Plays the 1-2 with Emerson very nicely. Now space opening up here. Emerson has picked out the pass. Tries to find Aubameyang, but the touch is heavy for the Gabonese. Brilliant feed there by Arda Güler. My word. Well, they have 2 left-footed magicians in their team. You can see early on Arda Güler and Franco Mastantuono, just the way they shift the ball so quickly. I mean, it is brilliant to watch. Marseille have to be careful now. Well, Medina, the right back, has tried to get as touch tight as possible to him. He wrestles the challenge. Mastantuono has a case, as Rodrigo on the left-hand side. Tries to get a bit of movement forward. Valverde, Huijsen. Here's Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni often just drops in between the 2 centre-halves, doesn't he? It just adds that assurance and allows the full-backs to push forward. Clever clip there by Güler to Carreras. Cutback is good. Rodrigo's first touch is brilliant. Good save by Gui. Oh, wow. Xabi Alonso has got his team fired up here. Rui with the save, but it is looking hectic for Marseille. It almost feels like a matter of time before Real Madrid score here. Roberto De Zerbi will be absolutely perplexed. He'll need to try and change something here. Can't continue the way it is. Maybe they'll have to drop their block a couple of yards deeper here, because if Real Madrid play around you, it's all sorts of trouble, especially with someone in the number 10 position like Arda Güler. Mbappe. Rodrigo gets muscled off the ball. Belerdi just lets it go to his goalkeeper. He's not had a very shaky start, hasn't he? The Argentine goalkeeper, Rui. Here's Emerson. Timothy Weah, on loan from Juventus, the USA international. Didn't get the game time for Thiago Motta, wasn't it, in charge? And you can see why, because they have Kenan Yildiz and Conceição. Oh, that's a loose giveaway there by Kondogbia. And here's Rodrigo bursting forward. Look at the pace, and he's just trying to pass that into the corner. Real Madrid continue to rack up shots here. Marseille don't seem to have any answers to try and stop this. Again, good play from Rodrigo. He's so pacey, especially in those midfield areas. Emerson, oh, heavy touch. That's clever by Valverde. Hits it alongside him. It's a good change there. It's Kylian Mbappe. What a shift. It's brilliant. Oh, the save from Rui is absolutely world class. Kylian Mbappe's drop of the shoulder is magnificent. Oh, it's all from their own doing here. And from there, Real Madrid come alive. What a clever reverse pass that is from Rodrigo. And the shift from Kylian Mbappe is sumptuous. It's on his left foot. The save is brilliant. Well, Rui has produced an unbelievable moment. And in 10 minutes of play, Real Madrid have been knocking on the door relentlessly. And it's another save. Well, Rui is earning his week's wage here. 10 minutes on the clock. It's Huijsen's effort. Arda Güler has been the linchpin of everything that Real Madrid have done well here so far. Really do like the early signs because it is against a progressive coach, but they need someone like Kondogbia just like that. Show that press resistance. Much better there from Jeffrey Kondogbia. Aubameyang. Good play this now. Much better from Marseille. Onto the right-hand side. Mason Greenwood for the first time trying to take on his full-back. Good support by Rodrigo. And Greenwood tries the speculative effort. Kondogbia's cushion header is well won. First time really Marseille having any sort of possession in the opposition half. And Jeffrey Kondogbia has to show his experience here and keep the ball a whole lot better. He's been around the block. He's played for some big clubs. Well, Arda Güler's life has changed, hasn't it? He scored, 4 goals last season? Or he had 4 goals or 4 assists, I think. Either one of those two last season under Carlo Ancelotti after Real Madrid finished second behind Barcelona. And now he's become a guaranteed starter under Xabi Alonso, and you can see why. He's got all the quality that you need from a number 10. He knows that as soon as he picks his head up, Mbappe will make that run. So it's all about releasing the Frenchman as quickly as possible. But they're under trouble here. Look at Real Madrid's press. My word. They're not letting Marseille breathe whatsoever. Brilliant play here from Madrid, but somehow Marseille keep the ball. Relentless pressure. Well, Real Madrid got absolutely humbled in their last season in the Champions League quarterfinals against Arsenal. 5-1 on aggregate. They lost both legs to Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. Here's Carreras. Brilliant run by the left back. Oh, it's again advanced play here. Here's Mascherano trying to curl that one in on his left foot in the half space, just looking to open up and curl it into the far corner. Well, the front four are looking well connected already. They've gotten their sights at goal, and that best chance fell to Kylian Mbappe. I mean, his change of direction is a joke. The speed at which, I pity any defender who has to defend against him. I think the central role will suit him a whole lot better now. He's 26 now, still at his peak athletic phase, but I think if you keep him closer towards goal with his shooting and striking ability, you just want that. It's a good long ball here. Weah has to chase, and he does very well against Carvajal. Here's Weah! Oh, wow, what an effort. Thibaut Courtois was hoping that was sailing over the post, and it did. Brilliant play there. What a pass that was from O'Reilly. Timothy Weah showing great 1v1 abilities. Just shifts it onto his right foot and trying to curl that into the top corner. Thibaut Courtois. Full stretch, mind you. And now the game is looking a whole lot better for Marseille. That shot. Ooh, it's another giveaway here. Kylian Mbappe, dangerous positions. It's Rodrigo. Mbappe has just peeled his run. Arda Güler, it's straight to the keeper. Well, they're all getting shots on the goal here. Rodrigo Goes has made an excellent start to the game here at left wing. All the headlines was of Vinicius Jr. being benched. Rodrigo is combining very nicely. Here's Dean Huijsen. Okay, Marseille having to play a lot more long balls to try and break open the Madrid press, which has been absolutely suffocating to Marseille. De Zerbi has not been able to play his football whatsoever. He's having to do a lot of off-the-ball work. I think he would have been mentally prepared and drilled that into the players that the first 30 or 35 minutes of this match, make sure that it's 0-0. Good play there again. Here's Tchouaméni. Carreras. He's been advanced. It's Rodrigo again. Tchouaméni, clever flick. It's Kylian Mbappe who was onside. It's a good block. The offside flag belatedly being raised there as Kondogbia has taken a heavy hit. It's the first time we've seen Aurelien Tchouaméni into the opposition box, trying to combine there. He's been playing between the two centre halves for most of the game. Clever pass there to Mbappe, who was clearly offside. Well, they're trying to feed Mbappe as quickly as possible, and that is the strategy which makes the most sense, doesn't it? Give your best player most amount of touches in dangerous positions. Very clever defending there by Carvajal. I mean, you can see what Weah was trying to do, but Carvajal is way too seasoned a campaigner. Just eases into him. He's left to a heavy challenge on Timothy Weah. Referee does wave play on here. We'll have to continue. O'Reilly has lost the ball, and the referee with a belated whistle. Forceful there by Dani Carvajal. Eder Militao, good to see him back as a starting centre-back for Real Madrid. Remember that partnership between Militao and David Alaba when they won the Champions League a couple of seasons back. He then picked up an ACL injury, so did Carvajal. So Real Madrid last season really did struggle with their back line, and now they've really beefed it up. Well, Rudiger's missing. He would be one of the fixtures as well as one of the centre-backs, but it's a good pairing. Dean Huijsen and Eder Militao. Well, for those tuning in, Trent Alexander-Arnold had to be taken off for what looked like a hamstring strain at the very least. He'll be sidelined for a couple of weeks, damaging for the English right back. Well, for Madrid, the scary thing is the options off the bench. They've got Brahim Diaz, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Eduardo Camavinga. I mean, that is a wealth of riches on the bench. Here's Carvajal. Guler. Well, Valverde doesn't do right-wing shifts anymore, doesn't he? He used to do that a lot under Carlo Ancelotti, especially in the big games. He's now very much a pivot player, using his engine, his passing range. Good turn there from Guler. Well, you can see Kondogbia is trying to be touch tight to the Turkish number 10 there. Guler getting a heavy stamp there from Jeffrey Kondogbia. You can see there just rakes down the heel there. If I'm not mistaken, Kondogbia and Mbappe were in the same Monaco team, weren't they? When Mbappe was 16 years of age, breaking through in that Champions League run where Monaco played the semi-finals, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, brilliant turn of pace there by Mbappe. Oh, the 1-2 with Mastantuono nearly coming off. Mbappe was clearly blocked off. But the play goes on. Carvajal is so strong. His 1v1 defending. You have to beat him with pace because he's physically so up for those contacts that you have to try something to try and go around him. Here's Militao. Guler in the pocket again. He's been trying to close down his... I think Marseille's strategy has to be to try and close down Arda Guler as much as possible. Easier said than done. Mastantuono now entering into those number 10 pockets here. I think both youngsters getting a bit more freedom to operate in the central areas. Here's Guler again, trying to go around the outside. He's on the right-hand side, half space. Oh, he's been muscled off the ball. Here's Højbjerg. Aubameyang somehow holding the ball. Again, Guler is so good on the turn. Aubameyang trying to pin the centre half. He does well to win the foul. Just takes the pressure off the Marseille midfield and back line for a little bit of time. It's good play, isn't it, from Franco Mastantuono. He just identifies the quick pass. He's done that on a couple of occasions. He is very nimble and agile, and you can see what Belletti was trying to do there. He was not going to allow Kylian Mbappe to run. There was no chance he was going to let him get that 1-2. Good work from the skipper. have to try and indulge in some of the dark arts to try and stop Kylian Mbappe sometimes. Haven't seen too much of Benjamin Pavard, the other centre-half for Marseille. Valverde doing a lot more of the sweeping up in the early stages. 20 minutes on the clock for Marseille's point of view. Job done. Oh, they've fallen asleep there. And Mbappe, from the throw-in, he finds himself in the box. Has no other option but to pull the trigger. Forceful shot there. Good save by Rui. Again, another shot on the Marseille goal. Starting to add up here as Marseille will need to try and shut that down. Goulet again, very good, nifty footwork. A big foul on him. Surely, no. The play continues. Good call there by the referee as Goulet is quickly back onto his feet. Here's Højbjerg. Pavard to his captain. Valverde to Emerson. Brilliant from Madrid. Just nowhere to go. Goulet, Mbappe. Oh, good interception. Tchouameni aggressive. Well, couple of fouls there by the Frenchman. Aurélien Tchouameni trying to stop that quick counter-attack from Marseille at the source. Heavy foul there on Emerson. Here's Benjamin Pavard. Medina. Again, a long ball forward. Hopeful more than anything else. Here's Dean Huijsen. He is the picture of coolness and composure, isn't he? Just plays the game at the languid pace. So he's given the ball away here. And Aubameyang is running at goal. It's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Timothy Weah! And Marseille have the sucker punch. How about that? They've absorbed all the pressure. And a big mistake there from Real Madrid. Handing the ball to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who drives into the box. Makes the very clever pass to Timothy Weah on the outside, who hammers it past Thibaut Courtois, and Marseille have the goal. You talked about Huijsen, far too composed. Goulet completely going to sleep there. Mason Greenwood quickly on his toes. He's pinched the ball, and then he's driving at the defense. It's brilliant. It looked like it was Aubameyang. It was Greenwood who did all the hard work. Laid it off magnificently well to Weah, who rifles it past the Belgian keeper. That's brilliant from Greenwood. I was wondering, how does Aubameyang still have the pace? That's because it was Greenwood. Superb goal from the American. Well, Real Madrid could and should have been a couple of goals up. Instead, Dean Huijsen, well, he just entered the midfield for the first time very casually with the ball. No danger. Arda Güler, though, he's the one who got robbed off the ball. So question marks will be asked of the young number 10. And now Real Madrid will be looking to throw the kitchen sink at Marseille. Immediately ball into Carreras, who's made the run into the box. Such a funny game this is, man. Never fails to surprise you. Real Madrid have played all the football, but it's Marseille who are a goal in front. Valverde, he's given the ball away. Risky position. Good work again by Tchouameni. Much more aggressive. He's pressing higher up the pitch. Good feet here. Mastantuono. Oh, lovely pass there by Carvajal to Valverde. Lets it go to Mbappe. Good defending. Kondogbia showing composure. Weah goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. And it's critical for Marseille to not concede early now. They've done very well to keep Real Madrid at bay somehow. You can see there Aubameyang is dropping a whole lot more deeper. Try and make it as difficult as possible. Maybe even add a bit of help in the midfield areas. You can see that they might be getting overrun in some of the positions. So just be that extra influence. Just a little bit of a link-up play maybe. Allow someone like O'Reilly, Weah and Greenwood, who have got the pace, try and enter the box. And Rui again having a bit of a mess at the back. Has to be careful. Nothing schoolboyish here from Marseille. Lovely footwork there from Alvaro Carreras. Left back for Real Madrid really does look a player, doesn't he? Trying to go around the outside. Well defended there by Pavard. Huysen, strong. Oh, it's a clever touch. And now Greenwood can run. Marseille are in business again. Here's Mason Greenwood. Immediately closed down there. Good first touch there by Weah. Full of confidence. Weah again. It's Courtois with the save. And the cushion header by Dani Carvajal. Back to the goalkeeper. Marseille could have very easily doubled their lead here. They are in the mood. Well, Mason Greenwood. Electrifying pace. And the directness which he shows. Here's Mbappe. Rodrigo. Lovely drop of the shoulder. Rodrigo, brilliant. Cut back. Well defended there by the captain, Balerdi. Corner for Real Madrid. Rodrigo trying to rile up the crowd here. Good strike, wasn't it, there by Timothy Weah. Courtois had to make a good save. Strong wrists from the Belgian. Corner for Real Madrid, though. Ball into the box. Keeper stays at home. Risky call. Mastantuono trying to bring that under control. So does Greenwood. This might just suit Marseille with the pace that they have, especially in the wing areas. If they can get the ball to stick to Aubameyang and get O'Reilly as close as possible to the number 9. Get those wingers in play because they clearly look the most dangerous players for Marseille. Tchouameni. Valverde. Back to Tchouameni. And no panic for Real Madrid. Popping the ball around very nicely. Here's Rodrigo into the box. Oh, that's a heavy touch. But the defending, I just mentioned, don't do anything schoolboy. And that's exactly what Marseille have done. It's clever from Rodrigo. He's taken a heavy touch. He knows exactly what he's doing there. He needs to win the penalty. And he does. The defender takes the bait in such a poor fashion. It's Kondogbia, isn't it? It's so disappointing when someone with the experience that you have, you know what he's going to do there. He dangles a leg out. Rodrigo gladly accepts the contact. And Real Madrid have the perfect opportunity to level things up here. Jeffrey Kondogbia, you expect so much better. That's poor. That's very poor. And Marseille, having absorbed all that pressure, doing so well to score the goal, have just gifted a route back to Real Madrid, back into this contest. And it is Kylian Mbappe, who seldom misses from the spot against the Argentine keeper Rui. Mbappe looking for his first goal of this Champions League season campaign here. He rarely misses. It's Kylian Mbappe. He buries the penalty. Real Madrid are level. 28 minutes on the clock. Marseille have only themselves to blame here. Jeffrey Kondogbia with a terrible tackle in the box. Kylian Mbappe from the spot. What a penalty that is. He dangles a leg up. Well, Real Madrid have their way back into this contest, and this could be a very long end to the half for Marseille now. Real Madrid with renewed optimism, renewed belief, will be looking for that second goal before the halftime break. That's for sure. Well, Mayuresh is absolutely buzzing with that. And why not? Real Madrid have played very well. They will be feeling a bit hard done by the scoreline. I feel a bit of justice has been served. And it's up to Marseille now to regather, recalibrate, and go again. Here's Tchouameni. Valverde. I like the distances between the two pivot players, the Uruguayan and the Frenchman. They have solidified that pivot position. There's number 6 and the number 8. Camavinga will have to try and work his way back into the good graces of Xabi Alonso. Brilliant play there, the 1-2. Mastantuono here. Mbappe back to the Argentine. Well, this is just fluid football here from Real Madrid. Here's Mastantuono. Try to play the 1-2. The footwork is sensational. Oh, my word. Well, this kid is special, isn't he? He is absolutely electric. Franco Mastantuono could have very easily had two special goals. One with a clever flick which came off the post. This one just dancing past the entire back line. And Rui having to make the save. When Madrid are coming closer and closer with every attack. It's just sumptuous football at times. Just the way they sweep the ball forward. Such a mess. And you can see there Rodrigo is just trying to curl that towards the far corner. They're finding every way to try and score here. Marseille is still trying to be brave and play out the back. They've somehow managed to do so. Here's Weah. Timothy Weah trying to venture forward. Here's Kondogbia, who will be absolutely kicking himself. And he should be careful. He's going to get one from the manager at the halftime break, that's for sure. The most schoolboy of errors. Dangling a leg out when you know that Rodrigo's trying to cut in. Heavy touch. He'll be trying to make amends. Oh, beautiful football here from Marseille. Wow, look at the patterns here. Aubameyang, O'Reilly, heavy touch. Well, somehow manages to find Greenwood here. Trying to shimmy and shake down that right-hand side. Good work here from Medina. First time forward here. Mason Greenwood. Aubameyang. It's Mason Greenwood again trying to play the 1-2. Here's the goal scorer Weah. Lays it off to Greenwood into the box. It's hopeful. Somehow nearly. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, the shot there from Kondogbia hits the arm of Militao, but his arms were tucked in. It was a hopeful call. You can see why they were appealing, but that was brilliant from Marseille. Wow, the one-touch passing. This game has really opened up now. Here's Rodrigo. End-to-end football here. Guler, Mastantuono looks to shift this. Oh, it's a heavy touch. Oh my word, the nutmeg is ridiculous. There's a chance at the far stick. Well, this kid is just absolutely dazzling. Champions League debut, no problem. Mbappe with the shot, good block. Tchouaméni tried the blast. Patient here from Madrid. Rodrigo again thought about the shot. Madrid keeping their composure. It's Tchouaméni. Oh, what a save by Rui. Aurelien Tchouaméni absolutely fizzed that. Good save by the goalkeeper Rui. Wow, look at the way he strikes that with venom. Absolute fizzer there. It was right at him. It's the only reason why it was a relatively easier save either side. And it's troublesome here. You can see there, Jeffrey Kondogbia's shot was on target, was going straight at Courtois. Did strike the arm of Militao, but it was well tucked into the body. Corner here for Real Madrid. They'll want that second goal, won't they? This game is absolutely crazy. Rui with a comfortable catch off the corner. It's so clever there by Real Madrid. Somebody has made a bit of contact with the goalkeeper just before he's about to release the ball. Disappointing corner. Again, you don't want to see anything. Yeah, Militao is so clever. He just tugs the jersey. He knows he's not going to get reprimanded for that. And he stops the quick counter-attack. It's the dark arts. It's those little things. Alvaro Carreras has impressed at left back. Said Benfica. Oh, clever reverse pass there by Aubameyang, but well intercepted. Mastantuono losing the duel there. Here's Carvajal. Was supposed to get the evening off, but Trent Alexander-Arnold's injury meant that the Spaniard will have to clock in nearly a full game here. And it's just loose play here for Madrid. It's almost like they're the masters of their own downfall. They're comfortable position. And the worst part is, it's not just a foul, it's an unnecessary yellow card for Aurelien Tchouaméni. He's on the stretch. He has to make the challenge. He's not happy here. You can see their loose ball. Højbjerg is quickly in there. Yep, it's a clear yellow card too. So Chouameni can have no complaints. It's a free kick. Decent position here for Marseille. Højbjerg and Emerson. Both behind the ball, but this is surely Mason Greenwood territory here. That's for sure. He's got a hammer of a left foot. It's going to take something special to beat Thibaut Courtois from here. Emerson is pretty much the decoy in case they want to just float this into the box. Looks like Kylian Mbappe will be the one-man wall. Have to try and... Greenwood instead floats this into the box. Good header there by Militao. Header back by O'Reilly. Højbjerg trying to get there first. Has to take a touch around though. Can he get the ball into the box? Chouameni has to make the block. It's another corner. Marseille just starting to grow into this game a lot better towards the end of the first half. He's showing the skills and the thrills of Franco Mastantuono. Corner here will be Emerson to take it. Jeffrey Kondogbia will be thirsting for the reply. Try and make amends here. Ball in towards the front stick, easily headed away. Here's Belerdi. Heavy first touch. Mbappe pressing and does very well. It's a different Kylian Mbappe now. He's been asked to work a bit more by Xabi Alonso in terms of not really try and cover too much ground off the ball, but just show that intensity in the press. I think last season under Carlo Ancelotti, at some points, Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe were taking the absolute piss in terms of work off the ball. And that's why they didn't come anywhere close to winning the big prizes. Xabi Alonso has made sure that that aspect has to be rectified as quickly as possible. Here's Valverde. Militao. Short first touch by the Brazilian centre-half. Clever clip pass, but a bit ambitious there by Valverde. Loses out. Here's Emerson. Where? Good 1-2 here with Emerson again. This is very good football by Marseille. O'Reilly with the effort. It's on his left foot. Why not from the Danish number 10? Finds himself in the pocket. Very nifty player. Was at Brighton last season, if I'm not mistaken. De Zerbi, happy to try and pick up some Premier League talents along the way. Here's Rodrigo. Again, drops the shoulder quickly. Again, drops on a dime, but this time, Benjamin Pavard doesn't fall for the tricks. Well defended there by the Frenchman. Kondogbia. Good press resistance and trying to burst forward. Carreras will be very lucky to avoid a yellow card. Again, it's a clever place to give a free kick deep into his own territory. Doesn't matter. Just hacks him, doesn't he? Heavy foul there. Good feed there by Weah. Timothy Weah, of course, the son of George Weah. Sir George, as he's known very fondly. Is he still the president of Liberia? I'm not sure, but he's a Ballon d'Or winner. The first and only African to win the Ballon d'Or. Decent touch there by Aubameyang with a special. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and it's wide. Well, having done all the hard work, you expected the net to bulge. Oh, the first touch by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang just rolls back the ears. Watch this. This is special. Gets a bit fortunate, but keeps his balance. And once he's there, Courtois is very good goalkeeping. And he's closed the front post very smartly. Aubameyang almost has to go far post. Good recovery there by Thibaut Courtois to make it difficult. But Marseille keep getting these chances. They're very much in this. Brilliant feed there by Aubameyang to Goulet. What a first touch. Again, he's immediately surrounded by 4 Marseille players. Here's Chouameni. Mastantuono. Good defending there by Emerson. Oh, but he's nearly given the ball away. He gets fortunate. Mastantuono is very bit childish there in the giving the foul. He knows Emerson has got nowhere to go. all he has to do is keep his composure, and Madrid would have won the ball back. It's just that youthful exuberance to try and win the ball back as quickly as possible. This allows Marseille once again to just take a deep breath. Xabi Alonso would be relatively pleased with what he's seen in terms of overall play. But he has seen... Oh, they've given the ball away. Mbappe! Another big save by Rui. What are Marseille doing? My word. Kylian Mbappe has had more than his fair share of chances here in this first half. Well, Aubameyang and Mbappe should have scored. This should have been 2-2. Incredible. Aubameyang doing all the hard work, bearing down on goal. Hits his shot wide. Mbappe getting an absolute gift right in the central pocket, but straight at Rui. Marseille, for all the good football that they've played, they do take chances at the back. It's been far too chancy. They've gotten away with murder on a couple of occasions. Now the long ball to Mbappe. Good defending there by the captain. Belletti making sure that he's touch tight with Kylian Mbappe, not allowing the Frenchman to sprint whatsoever. It's a good pass there by Rui. Trying to find Medina. There was a chance there by Aubameyang. You can see the giveaway there. Again, it's Jeffrey Kondogbia who's involved in it. I think the pass to him was suicidal here because Tchouameni is immediately on him. And Aubameyang will be, Mbappe will be a bit disappointed that some of his finishing has been not as crisp as the Frenchman is usually accustomed to. He scored 31 league goals last season. A lot of people saying that he would struggle. He just had a difficult period to settle in, but the amount of goals that he racks up, it was 31 in the league, 7 in the Champions League. Again, a few more in the Cups. 40 goals for a debut season. In a season where supposedly you have struggled. Just means that Mbappe is on course for a 50-goal season at least. It's Pavard with the foul on Rodrigo. Just a few fouls just being committed by both teams, but the referee quickly resolving that situation. We're back underway. Just under 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time remain in the first half. Just have a look at the scores of the other games. Juventus Dortmund is 0-0. Tottenham lead at home against Villarreal. Junior scored an own goal in the 4th minute. Marseille on the attack. This game was always going to be fun, and that's exactly how it's turned out to be. And Medina has popped up in various positions here. Happy to play as that left-sided centre half. Now they're playing as the back three, pushing Benjamin Pavard forward. I'm trying to be as fluid as possible here, De Zerbi. We saw that when he was in charge of Brighton. He was a real problem for most opposition managers, especially when you played at the Amex Stadium. You knew that you're coming up against a tactical maestro in Roberto De Zerbi. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but the way he sees football and tries to implement it on the pitch, he's a serious coach. Speaking of serious coaches, Xabi Alonso, winning the league title, unbeaten against the Bavarian Giants that are Bayern Munich. What is that? 10 in a row, which they broke apart. That was brilliant. To do that in that fashion, they had that habit of scoring late goals to preserve their unbeaten streak. It was a fairy tale season for Leverkusen. Once in a generation, and they pretty much had to pay the price since then. They finished second last season, but what has happened this season has been absolutely horrific for Leverkusen. They lost so many of their key players. They lost their coach. They hired Ten Hag. He gets sacked 2 games. 3 games into the season. It's been an absolute circus there. Here's Medina to... Again, these are such risky passes. Kondogbia having to deal with it, and they do profit from that risky play as they've beaten the Real Madrid press again very nicely. Should have advanced the ball forward. There's 3 minutes of added on time here in this first half. Aubameyang. Højbjerg. Bit of a Danish spine for Marseille. Here's Aubameyang again. Clever feet there. Oh, Aubameyang is trying to roll back the years here. He had a very good season 2 seasons back at Marseille, didn't he? He scored, 31 goals in 50 appearances? And then just goes off to Saudi 1 year and then comes back. Secured that short-term bag. Here's Belerdi to Pavard. Medina. Again, Kondogbia risky, plays out nicely, but Rodrigo pounces. Goulet with Mbappe. It's Arda Güler. It's just over the crossbar. Good strike there from the Turkish number 10. In the pocket again, but Marseille are playing that risky game time and time again. They keep playing that ball to Jeffrey Kondogbia, who is good on the turn, but as soon as they put pressure in that midfield area, it was Højbjerg who gets caught. Such a risky play there, because soon as you lose the ball in those kind of positions, you're in all sorts of trouble. Goulet with the strike. Marseille get away with that one. Another giveaway in the midfield area. This is shocking from Marseille. Have to keep the ball a whole lot better. Much better there. Riley shows the composure. Asks for the foul. Doesn't get it. It's been a cracking game of football. Brilliant stuff. Weah with a beautiful first touch. Cushion to Højbjerg. O'Reilly sweeps the ball forward. Doesn't take care of the pass, but somehow recovers the ball. Kondogbia shows his press resistance. Here's Højbjerg again. It's a bit of a rush pass, but finds Mason Greenwood now onto the right-hand side. Here's Greenwood looking to open up here. Dangerous on his left foot. It's Greenwood with the strike. Very impatient there. No power, no direction on his left foot though. Something that Real Madrid will try and have to limit. Mason Greenwood having those pops with his left foot. Oh, beautiful pass. Marseille are really caught. It's 3-on-3. It's Kylian Mbappe. Unselfish. Bastille Tuoro, surely, but straight at Rui. Well, you expected Mbappe to score, but he takes the unselfish route. Passes it to the youngster, Franco Mastantuono, who just looks to open up on the left foot. Well, the youngster could have very easily had 3 goals in this first half. Real Madrid are lightning on the counter-attack, but Marseille are all over the shop. No real structure off the ball. Good play there by Mbappe. Picks his head up to find the pass. Right on the left foot. Doesn't need to take a touch. It's a huge let-off again for Marseille. Is it going to be one of these games where Marseille somehow take all 3 points as the referee blows the half-time whistle? Well, this game has had everything in the first 45 minutes. There has been action on both sides. Rui has had to make some brilliant saves. Kylian Mbappe could have very easily had a hatful of goals. So could have Arda Güler or Franco Mastantuono. Instead, it's halftime here at the Santiago Bernabeu. It's Real Madrid 1, Marseille 1. And after Marseille took the lead, courtesy of Timothy Weah, they'll be very disappointed in the manner of which Real Madrid got the equalizer from Jeffrey Kondogbia being very sloppy in the box, conceding the penalty for Kylian Mbappe to convert from 12 yards. 1-1 at halftime. Quality game here. Quality game. Have a look at the stats here. Very little to separate in terms of possession. Marseille just about edging it. 53% for them, but Real Madrid have had 11 shots on target. They'll need to try and sharpen up their shooting in the second half, but almost feels like a barrage of efforts are going to be at the Marseille goal in the second half. Marseille have shown that they're very much capable of playing through the press, and they are lightning on the counter-attack. Their wing play has been very encouraging for De Zerbi. It's something that he can build on. Look at the bench for both teams. We mentioned before for Real Madrid, they've got Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Brahim Diaz, Eduardo Camavinga, all brilliant options to come off the bench. As for Marseille, I think the logical one would be, well, their number 9, Gori. So I think Aubameyang has done well. He should have scored. Might get another 10 minutes before we see the Algerian number 9, Gori. Also someone clever for De Zerbi to bring on, maybe Bilal Nadir. The youngster has started the season very well. 21 years of age, Moroccan number 10. Can get into those pockets where O'Reilly has been, try and affect the game. Maybe O'Reilly drops into the midfield area. Højbjerg comes off, but they'll want to keep that midfield pivot of Højbjerg and Kondogbia for all the problems that they might have faced. It's a good pairing to have. They're experienced, they're solid, they know their job. They've shown a bit of press resistance, especially Jeffrey Kondogbia. But it's been a great game, man. There's been so many different subplots. Marseille play a high-risk, high-reward game. They've taken their chances. They've rode their luck. And 1-1 at the break. So 2 attacking changes maybe for De Zerbi, but I don't think he'll be too eager to pull the trigger on the substitution. We want to keep this as stable as possible. We'll see which one of the two managers will blink if the score remains 1-1. I'm sure Xabi Alonso will have the pressure to bring on Vinicius Jr. as time ticks on in the second half. Rodrigo's played well. Absolutely no slight on him, but Vinicius Jr., especially in the Champions League, he's a different beast, isn't he? You want to give him as many minutes and opportunities to try and get that winner if it's just going to take one goal to try and separate these two teams. But this game has had everything so far. We saw Arsenal take care of business against Athletic Club. It was a bit of a turgid game, but Mikel Arteta is getting the job done in these games, and they continue to keep clean sheets, man. I mean, it's just brilliant when you know that your team at best will concede a goal. It just gives the confidence and the composure for the attackers that all you need to do is try and just score that one goal and you can win the game. Gabriel Martinelli had scored with his very first touch, a second touch since coming on, and then Leandro Trossard adding the second in the 87th minute. So good midweek game there for, I would say, a preparation game basically for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal before they play Manchester City on Sunday. That will be a very tasty encounter. Pep Guardiola against Mikel Arteta. Pep Guardiola will not have forgotten that 5-1 thumping that he suffered at the hands of Arteta at the Emirates Stadium last season. Pep rarely concedes 5, and especially to your protege, it will sting, and he will want to give a receipt back to Arteta. Easier said than done, but City would have a bit of confidence going into that game. I thought they were excellent against Manchester United. 3-0 on the evening, could have very easily been 5 or 6. They have a tricky midweek encounter against... I'm looking at something between Celtic and... not sure which other club. Is that the Kazakh side? I'm not sure. Well, Chelsea travel to Bayern Munich tomorrow. That'll be an absolutely brilliant game. Chelsea back in the Champions League, where we belong. And what a first game that is going to be. Michael Olise, Harry Kane, Serge Gnabry, all waiting tomorrow. Cole Palmer under the lights, Moises Caicedo as well. I cannot wait for that contest to happen tomorrow. I mean, that is going to be a cracker. I expect Enzo Maresca to be brave, go out there, challenge company, not sit back, not be intimidated by the environment. Go out there and show why you belong in the Champions League. We will be there. We're talking about managing a game in the Champions League for the first time. Thomas Frank has got to a good start, hasn't he? Life at Spurs has been good for the Brentford manager. He's done very well. Surprise loss to Bournemouth, but those who watch Bournemouth under Andoni Iraola will know that it's not a real surprise when you get beat by that brilliant coach. Other than that, I thought their victory against Manchester City at Etihad Stadium was outstanding. And then beating West Ham by 3-0. So, good start for Frank in the league and in the Champions League. 1-0 already, but they'll want to try and solidify that against a tricky Villarreal side. Xabi Alonso will not be panicking, will he? He'll just be keeping sure that he's going to tell his forwards, just put the ball in the back of the net. You've done everything right. You've played some good football. You've pressed up high up the pitch. Just go out there and add the finishing touches. And the best part is if Marseille score, wow, it's going to be an absolutely brilliant, barnstorming end to this Champions League match week 1 game between Real Madrid and Marseille. We should be ready for the start of the second half. It's been an excellent game. It's been so much fun between these two teams. The way that they've just tried and cancelled each other out. I think the way Marseille have played, you have to give them a bit of credit for bravery. When it goes wrong, you can often just hammer the manager and say, you should just, put 10 men behind the ball, try and just defend against Madrid. That's not what modern coaches do. They live off their reputation. Doesn't matter the opposition, doesn't matter where they play. Big stadium like Bernabeu, players playing there probably for the first time in their career. But the philosophy is the players have to be brave and trust in the system. And when it goes wrong, it goes horribly wrong. The manager can look very foolish. But when it gets right, that's when your reputation as a manager can go through the roof. Say De Zerbi, for some reason, wins 3-1 today. Just listen and hear to how people will talk about him in the press, in the world media. That's what a victory against Real Madrid, not just by a smash and grab, but even creating chances. But Marseille might have very easily got the second goal there. Aubameyang should have scored. They have had to ride their luck on a few occasions, but I think they've stayed in the game. Chouameni's picked up a yellow card. I think the referee's telling him that have to be careful. Don't want to send you off. Don't expect Xabi Alonso to make any changes early on. He won't be panicking. He has no reason to whatsoever. I think De Zerbi as well. But what De Zerbi will have to tell his players is just be a bit more mindful when you do play out the back. They've given Kondogbia a lot of work to try and turn out of trouble. He's done so on multiple occasions, but all you need to do is get caught out once, and you can be in so much trouble. And we're off and running for the start of the second half. Kylian Mbappe gets things up and underway. The man with the equalizer from the spot after Timothy Weah scored in the 22nd minute after a great bit of play from Mason Greenwood, pinching the ball, running at the defense, laying it off to Weah, who hammered it past Thibaut Courtois. Kylian Mbappe scoring from the spot after Rodrigo was fouled in the box by Jeffrey Kondogbia. It's a risky pass there by Huijsen. Far too casual there by the Spanish centre-back. Know that his style of play and the way that he approaches the game, this is top-level football. This is high-level stuff. Heavy challenge there by Pavard. I think it's an early yellow card in the second half. Benjamin Pavard picking up the yellow card. His touch letting him down, forcing him to lunge in. It's a bad foul, really. It really is a poor foul there by Benjamin Pavard. Well, yellow cards have been brandished for both sides. Decent touch there by Goulart. Mbappe spreads it on to the right-hand side. Far too much on there for Mastantuono, who's given him the thumbs up, but that was a poor pass there by Kylian Mbappe. Immediately acknowledges it. Good to see that by Mbappe. Still looking for his first Champions League medal. I mean, just think about the career that he's had, the goals that he's scored. He was pretty much the undisputed best player in the world at some point. But he still wants that Champions League, which has eluded him throughout his career. Couldn't get it done in PSG, and then PSG win it the first season that he leaves. Just feels like this is the Mbappe revenge season. Almost the villain arc. Here's Arda Güler on the right hand side. What a first touch that is by Mastantuono. It is brilliant there. You can see it's Eder Militao. I was so surprised. I was trying to figure out that surely can't be Eder Militao. It was in the right hand side half space. He's come 60, 70 yards in that attack. Try and join in. It's a corner for Real Madrid. Good start here for Real. They're trying to put all the pressure on Marseille. And for Marseille, the next 5 or 10 minutes are going to be so crucial. Have to try and keep Real Madrid at bay. Good ball in. It's Huijsen into the box. It's cleared away. That's good defending. Alvaro Carreras has looked a solid left back for Real Madrid here. Again, Madrid showing the number of weapons that they have in the forward areas. Marcin Tuono has had an excellent first half. I think he had 2 or 3 good chances. Some nimble, agile, a composed bit of play from the youngster, getting his first start in the Champions League. Here's Emerson. Kondogbia. Again, it's a heavy touch. Every time Kondogbia is on the ball, you can see Tchouaméni is just waiting. Just waiting. It's very risky. Rui finds his captain. Again, it's Mbappe who's pressing. You can see there, this is a different Kylian Mbappe off the ball. Yes, you will find him at times jogging and just trying to catch his breath, conserve energy. But oh my goodness, again, Marseille taking so many risks. Oh my word. Rui has to play that for a corner. My goodness, what are you doing there? Kylian Mbappe is like a shark. He smells blood. He's just waiting for the opportunity. It's a quick corner taken. Guler fakes very nicely. It's Mbappe edge of the box. He just drills that towards goal. It takes a deflection off the crossbar and out for a corner. It all comes from Marseille's foolishness at the back. Well, Kylian Mbappe knows that there's a goal here if he keeps pressing. He wouldn't have to do anything more. Disappointing corner there by Guler. Here's Valverde. Here's Valverde again. Drops the shoulder. Mbappe loses out on that occasion. Here's Valverde now. Madrid have had 19 attempts, 11 on target. Marseille, 8 for them, 3 on target. The goal and the Aubameyang shot was the best opportunities that they had. Here's Carreras. Here's Tchouaméni. Beautiful pick out there. Asking way too much though of Mbappe. Good header back to Rui. Yep, first 5 minutes well navigated by Marseille. Again, they're their own enemies here. Other than that, very much in this game. On the left-hand side, here's Emerson. Mason Greenwood is playing on the left-hand side here. Clever ball. Huijsen on the stretch. Does very well, the centre-half. Here's Carreras. Guler got a bit of space here. Kondogbia gets there swiftly. Good work to bite into the challenge, and that's pretty much the blueprint here for the men in blue here for Marseille. Here's Højbjerg. Again, waiting for passing options, but again, good work here off the ball by Real Madrid. Marseille baiting the press. Can they play out of it? Carreras, excellent. Excellent work again from the Spanish left back. He leaves one on Greenwood, and then he's there attacking. Well defended there by the skipper as to make the run across. Mason Greenwood might be still on the deck here. Oh, he's back onto his feet. Heavy challenge. Carreras knows that he can't allow Greenwood to turn, because if Greenwood turns, he's on his way. A lot of green grass in front of him. Clever leave there by Franco. Here's Tchouaméni. Huijsen. Got that red card again the weekend, didn't he? And they played Real Sociedad. Good switch out to Carvajal onto the right-hand side. Rui does well. Guards his front post. I don't think that Marseille will mind this tactic if Real Madrid are crossing the balls into the box. No obvious presence in to try and attack it. Good work there by Emerson, trying to go around. Aubameyang with the flick. Just feels that Guri's time will be coming up shortly in the next 7 to 8 minutes. The Algerian number 9 will give them a lot more mobility in the forward areas. Onto the left-hand side, here is Rodrigo now. Against Pavard. Here's Carreras. Rodrigo again. Valverde. Marseille in a good defensive block here. Madrid will have to try something clever. Here's Mastantuono. On his left foot, trying to just catch out the goalkeeper at the front post. Well, Ruiz having to make save after save after save. But Vinicius Jr. is just prowling, waiting for his number to be called. Again, they've given the ball away in dangerous situations. Here's Mastantuono. Mbappe, lovely first touch. Kylian Mbappe. Oh, what a tackle that is. Belletti with a goal-saving tackle. That is a captain's block on Kylian Mbappe. Oh, surely a yellow card there for Militao. It is. Again, it's just electrifying play there where Real Madrid at the edge of their own box. The way that they just turn it up. Quick passing. They get Kylian Mbappe in the best possible position. Try and get a shot away. The block from Belletti was a brilliant one. Look at this from the captain. It studs up, but he had to really throw himself at it. He gets the ball and the man. Brilliant from the Argentine skipper. Nope, you can't give a penalty for it. The referee's looking right at it too. He's got enough of the ball. It's a stiff one on Mbappe. That was a dangerous challenge by Eder Militao. He's held Aubameyang by his arm and dragged him down. Can do a lot of damage to the shoulder if someone does drag you down that way. But Mbappe is the one that is on the deck getting a bit of treatment. That's the kind of forceful tackle that was needed because Mbappe is looking to just shoot there. Just cushion touch there by Valverde is very clever. Belletti knew that he could not allow Mbappe to shoot. Yep, fair. That was a clean tackle. The number of times they're having a look makes me a bit nervous for Marseille. I think they should be fine. Clean as a whistle there. Mbappe will have to rejig. Well, 10 minutes into the second half, the Marseille have kept the status quo here. Still level. Exactly what Roberto De Zerbi would have been almost shouting for. This is halftime team talk. Here's Kondogbia again. Good turn under pressure. Immense pressure. You can see Tchouaméni just waiting. As soon as he gets the ball, looking to press. They play out of the press beautifully. Valverde has had to do that. Aubameyang has turned away nicely. He's got Weah on the left-hand side. Here's Timothy Weah looking for his brace here. Lays it off. It's Aubameyang. It's straight at Courtois on the left-hand side. And it's another brilliant block. Here's Højbjerg. The danger still not cleared. Marseille are so lethal on the break there. The way that they break with pace. It was Medina who joined the attack too. It was Aubameyang's strike. Struck that well, Courtois. Equal to the task here. Marseille showing that they're not here to make up the numbers. They're very much looking to threaten Real Madrid here. Give them an awkward start to their Champions League campaign. Madrid really did struggle last season. They needed the playoffs against Manchester City to move through to the next round. They'll be looking to try and avoid that. New format does throw a bit of surprises. Here's Valverde. Mbappe. Goller. Oh, that's a clever move there, but well blocked. Belletti and Kondogbia. Mason Greenwood is criminal to lose the ball there. It's Rodrigo now. Again, quick one-touch passing. Mastantuono thought about the shot. Carvajal. Back to Franco. Very good defending there by Emerson. Using all his experience. And once again, Marseille can break here. Weah's got electrifying pace. Doesn't decide to use it this time, but he's carried the ball a long way. Here's O'Reilly. Waits for support. Mason Greenwood has joined the attack now. This is the player that they want the ball in those dangerous areas. Greenwood ignores O'Reilly's run, decides to keep the ball. Here's Pavard. Pavard is almost playing as right back now. Medina playing as the left-sided centre-back. Again, very risky. What a turn that is from Kondogbia. Talk about immense pressure. He cannot lose the ball. He turns and the pass is brilliant and they're in business again. Here's Greenwood now in the channel, thinking about going onto his right foot there. Across goal. Hoyson clears. Well, Greenwood does prefer the shots on his left foot, but is capable of going on the right. Oh, they have to be careful there. Balerdi is. The way that he's coped with the pressure of Kylian Mbappe is commendable. You could see that as soon as Balerdi took the touch, Mbappe was on him like a flash. Hectic stuff here. Hectic stuff for Marseille. They're reaching the hour mark. Balerdi, is it a bit of gamesmanship, or has he genuinely suffered something there? He feels that on the stretch he might have been caught there. Might have just tweaked his toes while he fell. Kylian Mbappe with a bit of a shove there on the Argentine skipper. This is good territory here for Marseille. This is exactly where they want to be. About 30 minutes to go. They're still going to give chances away to Real Madrid. Make no mistake about it. Oh, this is a very interesting move here. I'm not surprised that Mastantuono is the one that is making way, but it is not Vinicius Jr. that is coming on. It is Brahim Diaz. Well, big move this from Xabi Alonso. Is he rethinking that? Diaz was certainly looking to come on. Substitution hasn't been made yet. Talk about those big calls. If you end up winning the match, you won't hear much about it, but if it goes against you, it's kind of murmurs you don't want to really hear. Here's Kondogbia. Cushion pass. O'Reilly. Good first touch. Here's Greenwood now. Trying to burst away. Hoyson with the stooped header. And comfortable here from Marseille. Here's Rui, who's had a few iffy moments, but he's made some big saves in this match so far. Here's Kondogbia. Greenwood. Oh, you can see what he was trying to do there. The first time pass into the channel. Chouameni rides the challenge. Here's Carreras. Driving there. No one really putting a challenge there. Finally, the skipper takes matters into his own hands. And what a tackle. Brilliant. He just nicks the ball off. Balerdi has done his reputation no harm at the Bernabeu here. Pulling out some massive blocks. All eyes would have been on him. He would have had heart palpitations facing Kylian Mbappe. But he's been solid. And the change... Ooh, we talked about Brahim Diaz coming on. Looks like he will be coming on, but so will Vinicius Jr. That's more like it from Xabi Alonso. We spoke about this about 40 minutes on the clock. If the scoreline were to remain 1-1 after 60 minutes, who's going to be the first manager that blinks and makes the change? That would be Xabi Alonso, and indeed it has been Xabi Alonso. He's chasing the game. He needs this result. I don't think De Zerbi is the kind of coach who will be happy to settle for a point. Still be asking his team. Keep going out there. Keep asking questions. Something might break for them. O'Reilly onto the left-hand side to Emerson. Here's Weah. Mastantuono still on the pitch. But I think his number is definitely coming up. And Vinicius Jr. will be coming on. And so will Brahim Diaz. Double substitution here for Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid. And it's the two wingers that will be replaced. Rodrigo and Franco Mastantuono both coming off. Vinicius Jr. will slot in on that left-hand side. Of course, Brahim Diaz will move on to the right-hand side here. This is a very good Champions League debut for the 18-year-old, number 30 from Argentina, Franco Mastantuono. I mean, coming from River Plate to Real Madrid is a huge jump, and getting the faith of the manager to start your very first Champions League game of the campaign, and he got 60 minutes too. Fantastic. Could have had a couple of goals too, make no mistake about it. There were chances. He showed great composure, dribbling ability. Again, the Marseille players trust Kondogbia so much. I mean, to carry that kind of trust is such a burden, isn't it? And Kondogbia has to be careful. He's hit the ball away. Huijsen was fouled. I think it was O'Reilly with the foul, just trying to press the centre-back. Here's Huijsen. Looking for the switch out here. Beautiful pass. Carvajal. Militao. Militao has been a lot more adventurous, but he gets in the way of Brahim Diaz. They end up losing the ball. Medina with Emerson. And this is where Marseille looking to pop the ball around. Lovely turn there. Villa looks to keep the ball in. Oh, what a ball that nearly turned out to be. And Thibaut Courtois had to turn out to be sweeper keeper. It looked like the ball might have been run out of play there by Timothy Weah. He turns into a Trivela pass, weighted to perfection to Aubameyang. Courtois had to take evasive measures. Here's Goulet. Good pass onto the left-hand side. Here's Carreras. Left back moving forward. Kondogbia, brilliant. That's the Kondogbia I remember. Getting into position. He really has played with outstanding bravery, composure. Yes, he conceded that penalty, and things can happen in the 90 minutes game, but it's the kind of performance you expect. Beautiful turn there from Højbjerg. They're getting the composure and the confidence a lot more. Can Aubameyang keep this ball in? He can. 65 minutes on the clock here. Here's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Oh, it's so needless. The back flake. He's trying to be clever there. Try and release Emerson onto the left-hand side. Decent shift by Aubameyang. 65 minutes on the clock. And no surprises that De Zerbi is going to respond with a double substitution himself. It looks like O'Reilly and Kondogbia is coming off. That is a strange decision. Vermeeren is one of the men coming on. It's a bit risky. You really want to be taking off your spine in this critical moment. Might want to... You can understand why he's kept his wingers on, because they are the most dangerous players. When you replace your two spine members in Kondogbia and O'Reilly, it's a bold move. It's brave, isn't it? That's exactly what you expect. Well, Igor comes on as the centre half. Left winger, rather, for Brazil. And the Belgian midfielder, Arthur Vermeeren, 20 years old, defensive midfielder. The two substitutions seen by De Zerbi has been called by the Italian manager. What a first touch that is by Vinicius. Now driving into the box. Vinicius Jr. drops the shoulder, loses the ball though. Just coming on, nearly making the impact. This is brave though by De Zerbi. Like I mentioned before, we expected Aubameyang's number to probably come off. Well, Pavard has been caught out of position. It's a heavy foul that had to be made. And Vinicius Jr., he's come on with a point to prove, hasn't he? He's looked fiery since coming on. Good couple of touches, looking to press and make himself a nuisance. It's a corner here for Real Madrid. Oh, he's let that go. My word, Vinicius Jr. might have had a tap in at the far stick. It is a heroic block there. I think that was Medina, the centre half, who somehow gets there. After all the defending that Marseille have done, that would have been a comical way to concede. Facundo Medina, the centre-back from Argentina, and, well, it's been a centre-half pairing of dreams here for Marseille at the Santiago Bernabeu, having only conceded from a penalty so far. They should be very proud of the way that they've played, but there's still a lot of football still to go here. Over 20 minutes of action. Well, Dani Carvajal, there's not much contact on Rui, but he has leaned in. And you have seen these kind of soft red cards being given. It's so needless from Dani Carvajal. He might felt that Rui has done something there, but once you make that slight movement forward, you've given the referee a decision to make. It is very risky from the experienced campaigner. Well, Balerdi is making his point known that he feels that Dani Carvajal has just overstepped his boundaries there. Well, VAR, but if they have a look here, they have a decision to make, because, again, it's not dangerous. Let's put that to the side. But every time you make that headbutt gesture and you lean forward, it's risky. It's very risky. Carvajal is just waving away the acting here, which he feels from Rui. Again, it's good here for Marseille. They run down the clock. Get Real Madrid a bit more desperate as time rolls on. Rui is just taking his time here. And from his point of view, why not? 1-1 here, the scoreline. The Juventus-Dortmund game has absolutely exploded. It was 0-0 at half-time. Adeyemi scored in the 52nd minute. Yildiz equalized in the 64th minute. Nemecha scored a minute later at 65 minutes. Vlahovic equalized in the 68th minute, and Couto scored in the 75th minute to give Dortmund a 3-2 lead. Away at Juventus. Oh, Carvajal might be in trouble here. The referee has been sent to the monitor, and this could be real trouble. This could be real trouble for Carvajal, who replaced Trent Alexander-Arnold in the 3rd minute after the English right-back suffered that hamstring injury. Carvajal, what are you doing there? Well, Rui is definitely mouthy to the skipper, but Carvajal has made the move. Well, that still is... it makes you a criminal on the football pitch. Carvajal is going to be sent off here. Yes, he will. What a boost this is for Marseille. And after a lengthy VAR check, the Real Madrid captain, with 20 minutes remaining, petulance from the experienced campaigner, will be sent off. It's a direct red for violent conduct. It's a headbutt gesture that he's caught the goalkeeper. He will get the red card and the marching orders. And Marseille have the advantage in the final 20 minutes. Incredible game. You just knew that there's going to be another few twists and turns. Marseille were not going to lay down. And that's exactly what they've done. They've stayed in the game. And Madrid have a red card. It's Dani Carvajal. Cannot be doing that, Dani Carvajal. Experienced campaigner. There's no way you can make that movement and get away with that one. The frustration has boiled over, and Madrid will have to try and get all 3 points. Down to 10 men now. This is where De Zerbi's ears will be sharpened, pointed, and ready to pounce. It looks like Arda Güler is coming off. And Raul Asensio coming on. They're looking for defensive solidity here, Real Madrid. The creative number 10 comes off. The centre half comes on. Corner for Real Madrid. There, Huijsen's header. It's just over the crossbar. Well, this is where you expect Marseille now to try and dominate the ball at the Santiago Bernabeu in the last 15 minutes. Grab a hold of the ball, push Madrid back, let them do a bit of chasing for the first time really. And this could have damaging effects to Xabi Alonso. Marseille trying to reset here. Madrid still have enough firepower to get a goal. They have got magicians all over the pitch, capable of pulling out a movement out of thin air. Can Marseille now trying to move through the gears. Here's Emerson, who's playing almost as an inverted left back. He's not inverting into midfield, but he's almost playing as the underlapper rather than an overlapping player. "80 minutes in Turin, Juventus 2-3 down to Dortmund. Spurs Villarreal is still 1-0 to Spurs. Junior's own goal in the 4th minute, the difference between the two teams. And Madrid and Marseille playing out a 1-1 draw so far. We're heading into the final 15 minutes. Madrid are down to 10 men after Dani Carvajal's moment of madness. I think Medina has picked up a yellow card. Yes, he has. He feels that that was his first foul. Well, Marseille not caught asleep there. Still a long way to go. It feels Madrid very much capable. Again, this is where you want De Zerbi to get his guys to pop the ball around. Be a lot more braver here. Almost risk losing to try and win this game. It's a free hit for them, isn't it? Oh, Mbappe with another bit of acrobatics. Doesn't fall to him kindly. Haven't seen too much of the Marseille substitute so far. Vinicius has been very much on it since coming on. He's been playing with a lot more fire and intensity, but hasn't been really been able to affect the game in the way that he would wanted to. Risky pass. Bears lost out, and here's Vinicius Jr. Brilliant from Carreras. Oh, Vini, what is that? Strange play there from the Brazilian winger. A bit loose there from Marseille. I think the tiredness and the fatigue is starting to catch up now. Heading into the business end, you can see Timothy Weah is already feeling his hamstrings. Might be cramps he'll be hoping for. Again, proactive here from the Marseille manager, Roberto De Zerbi, bringing on his number 9. Amin Gori, Algerian number 9, certainly ready for action. Emerson's coming off, and it looks like Timothy Weah is coming off too. Yep, number 62, Murillo, coming on, and number 9, Gori, coming on too. Defender and an attacker, keeping things fresh on the pitch here. 4 substitutes used by De Zerbi. Here's Vinicius Jr. now trying to isolate the fullback. Vinicius trying to lay that off. Very good defending there from Vermeeren. Comes across, stretches to make sure that he's Another presence in the box. He has replaced Jeffrey Kondogbia, who's had a fantastic game. Here's Brahim Diaz getting on the ball for the first time, really. Hasn't had the impact since coming off the bench. Placing Franco Maston-Tuanto. Here's Chouameni. Can he try to roll his marker? And Madrid looking comfortable on the ball here. Man advantage, not really hampering them. It's Vinicius again against the captain. Vinicius straight at the goalkeeper. Stinging the palms. Again, Vinicius so direct in his play. That's brilliant there from the captain, Balerdi. What a game he's had. Superb work. Again, they've given the ball away. This time it's Greenwood. Risky. Vinicius again. Chouameni. Mbappe, clever back heel. It's Vinicius Jr. Oh, what a challenge that is from Medina. Is he given a penalty? He has. Oh, my word. Well, it looked like it was a sensational tackle from Medina. Instead, it's another penalty for Real Madrid. Medina feels that it's a laughable decision. Let's have a look here. Oh, no way, that's a penalty. Oh, is it a handball after that? There's no way you can give that as a penalty. That's a shocking decision. Nobody's appealed for it. How is that a penalty? That's a shocking call. No way. Vinicius has not appealed. Neither has... He said it's a handball. Oh, that is so cruel. There's no way he can see that. It's behind him. That's a shocking call. I'm sorry. Madrid have gotten a huge lift here from this. There's nothing he can do. He's on the slide. His arm is behind him. Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. Well, Medina has had a near flawless game at centre half. He's conceded a penalty. There was no doubts about the first one. This one. Less said the better here. Can Rui be the saviour, or will Kylian Mbappe get a brace of penalties to his name? Massive call there from the referee. Into the final 10 minutes. De Zerbi will be absolutely fuming with that call. But there's nothing he can do but hope that his keeper can bail him out. It's Mbappe versus Rui. Mbappe! Oh, the keeper gets a hand to it, but too much venom on it. Kylian Mbappe scores the goal. Real Madrid overturned the 1-0 deficit courtesy of 2 Kylian Mbappe penalties. Medina concedes the penalty after a quite sensational block on Vinicius Jr. Fortune going against him. Referee gives the penalty. Kylian Mbappe pounces with a brace of penalties. Oh, that is such a cruel decision. And the penalty is not that good either. You know, he's guessed the right way. He's gotten a palm on it. Well, heartbreaking for Marseille. But that's Real Madrid in a nutshell. Every time you think that you can write them off, that this is not going their way, they just find a way. This time with a bit of assistance from the referee. But Kylian Mbappe has started off this Champions League campaign with 2 goals. With 8 minutes plus stoppage time remain here for Real Madrid to try and hold on. Is this where Marseille finally look to try and assert a bit of influence? I think since having the man advantage, Marseille almost dropped off. Didn't really take control of the ball. This is the first time you're seeing them pop the ball around here. It was Vinicius Jr. Since he came on. He has been absolutely lively and hungry for movements. He would have been fuming holding the bench for the first 60 minutes, that's for sure. You look at the balance of play, the number of attempts, the chances created. Madrid will feel that, yep, they've done just about enough to try and get all 3 points. But manner of which, it's a bit tricky to accept if you're a Marseille fan. Good header there again. Valerde has had a brilliant game. Here's Vermeeren. Højbjerg. Onto the left-hand side. There's a bit of space opening up here. Igor's thought about just opening it up here. It's Højbjerg. Vermeeren. Benjamin Pavard. Ball into the box. Good header there by Militao. Excellent defending from the Brazilian. And now Real Madrid with their backs to the wall. Can they hold out here? Xabi Alonso. Does he have an insurance substitution waiting on the bench? Or he just trusts his team to get the job done here? Here's Mason Greenwood. Pavard. Medina. Here's Højbjerg. Again, waiting for movements. Nothing in front of him. Real Madrid are trying to close down the spaces as quickly as possible. Here's Mason Greenwood now. Floats that into the box. Good defending by Hussein. Clip pass. Greenwood, first time, cut back. Pavard's first touch is very disappointing. You expect a whole lot better there from the World Cup winner. Has to get that pass right. The touch rather right. It's good play there by Mason Greenwood. First touch from that switch was very well cushioned. Oh, the header's risky there from Medina. And Real Madrid are in business here. Kylian Mbappe's pass takes Brahim Diaz further than he would have wanted it to. Clever reverse. Mbappe still made the run. Mbappe's on a hat-trick here. Brahim Diaz straight at Rui again. Good save. Again, Kylian Mbappe combining. This time making his way into the left-hand side. Trying to cover as much pitch as possible. Now on the left-hand side. Looking to venture forward here. There's a lot of space here. If they can try and put the ball into the box. Aubameyang is waiting, but he needs support. Again, now the support arrives. Here's Vermeeren. Højbjerg. Clever pass. Mason Greenwood. Shifting on his left foot. Greenwood. Courtois saves. Straight at the Belgian, but enough power on it. And now Real Madrid again on the counter-attack. This is dangerous settings here for Marseille. Doesn't feel like Real Madrid are down to 10 here, that's for sure. Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. have the threat on the counter-attack. They can easily add the third before full time. Under 5 minutes remain here of normal time. Pair of Kylian Mbappe penalties, the difference makers. As Timothy Weah's goal feels a long time ago for Marseille. They've played well, they've created chances, but they might leave empty-handed. Here's Vermeeren. Decent first touch there by Aubameyang. Switched on to the left-hand side. Marseille trying to be patient here, trying to pick up the tempo. Here's Igor. Oh, what a poor pass. That is very lazy. Oh, they've given it away. Very sloppy by both teams. Marseille win the ball back here. Here's Højbjerg. Amin Guri to Igor. The two substitutes looking to combine here. Edge of the box, Højbjerg. Beautiful football. Trying to weave through. Oh, it was Igor who was just leaning back. Doesn't get the shot on target. Much better there from Marseille. Trying a bit of intricate play into the box. That was Brahim Diaz's right-footed effort at the keeper. And that was Greenwood's response. Straight at Courtois too. The game has had goal-mouth action on both sides, that's for sure. 3 minutes plus stoppage time remain as Pavard comes off for Egan Riley. Almost like a like-for-like substitution. Pavard might be just running out of gas here towards the end. Again, good first touch there by Brahim. He feels that he was fouled. He can't believe it. Play must go on. Here's Vermeeren. Here's Greenwood now. Nice switch of play. Igor brings that onto his chest beautifully there, the Brazilian. Onto the left-hand side. Good turn of pace there. He concedes the corner. You can see there the substitutes have added fresh legs and impetus to Marseille. Have they waited far too long? Maybe for that. We'll wait and see. But Amin Gori is going to whip this corner in, the Algerian number 9. He's been amongst the goals here, Gori. Off the bench as the ball into the box. Greenwood gets the strike. Doesn't catch that cleanly though. Well, 90 seconds remain of the 90 minutes here. Madrid down to 10 men after Dani Carvajal foolishly got himself sent off for a direct red card for a headbutt on the goalkeeper Rui. But since then, it's been Real Madrid who capitalize after a rather fortuitous decision going their way. But Kylian Mbappe nerveless from the spot. Courtois had to make a couple of big saves though. Nothing extravagant. I think you don't expect him to do. Here's Brahim Diaz. He has the ball exactly where Real Madrid wanted. Beautiful turn. Going to combine with Valverde. Here's Diaz. Valverde again. Trying to keep the ball in the corner. It's just trying to just lump that into the box. No one was really there, but he's won a corner. Real Madrid just looking to run down the time. They'll feel that they've put in a lot of effort. And somehow coming with all 3 points. The Juventus-Dortmund game is going absolutely crazy. I mean, it's 3-4 in favor of Dortmund. Bansebaini had scored the 4th in the 86th minute courtesy of a penalty. Juventus have scored in the 96th minute, which seems like a... Oh, they've scored 2 goals in stoppage time, Juventus. Vlahovic and somebody else. I think I should be switching the game here. That's absolutely crazy. The Dortmund-Juventus game, 4-4 after a 0-0 at half-time. Absolutely incredible. We'll talk about a slow burner of a Champions League match week 1 start. You can see with Arsenal starting slow, getting 2 goals late on. 8 goals in 45 minutes in Turin. I want to confirm who those 2 heroes were for Juventus. Vlahovic was confirmed as one of the goal scorers. And Lloyd Kelly, the centre-back who was signed from Newcastle and all the eyebrows were raised, has scored in the 96th minute. They're going to check for VAR. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I'm trying to keep a focus on the last 6 minutes of stoppage time that remains in the Real Madrid game. On the left-hand side here, Marseille threatening here with Igor on the left-hand side. Drops the shoulder. It's Igor. Heavy touch. Good work there from Lucas Vazquez. Asensio, rather, who's committed the challenge. Raul Asensio does very well there. You can see that Real Madrid just trying to slow the game down, run the clock down as much as possible. But it's a corner. Final 5 minutes here. Can Madrid hold on? Here's Gori's corner. Oh, the header's in a dangerous position and Greenwood. Well, if that was on target, could have been very, very interesting. He's completely unmarked at the far stake here. It's a difficult one on the half volley. Højbjerg's flick on is perfect. And he just gets over the ball rather than on top of it. Huge let-off there for Real Madrid right towards the end. Lloyd Kelly's goal has been confirmed for Juventus. Incredible. 94th minute and 96th minute. Down 4-2. Dortmund Unbelievable bottle from them. Conceding 2 goals in 2 minutes of stoppage time. Their coach will be absolutely fuming with that. Oh, it's a heavy challenge there. You can see there Raul Asensio feels that, Guri was a bit forceful there. Oh, it's just knocked the wind out of Asensio, hasn't it? Just backed into him. Shoulder more than anything else, and I think it's the stamp afterwards. Oh, it is a stamp, but it is not the challenge, it's the stamp afterwards. Guri has to plead innocence and ignorance that he didn't see Asensio's foot there. That's the only thing that will keep him from both teams having, or pretty much finishing the game with 10 men. Madrid are halfway there. Halfway of stoppage time for doing the job the hard way in match week 1 of their Champions League campaign. Tomorrow, of course, we got Chelsea travelling to Bayern Munich. I'll be doing the watch along for that too. That will be an absolutely cracking game of football. Cannot wait for that to start. Chelsea trying to shake off their disappointment after a last gasp goal against Brentford at the weekend. Bayern hammering Hanover by 5-0, having no issues whatsoever in the league. 3 minutes of stoppage time remain here. Marseille trying to find one clear-cut opportunity just before the full-time whistle. They're trying to be as patient as possible, trying to move around their Real Madrid shape off the ball, which has been solid. Here's Greenwood now trying to isolate the fullback. He's had very little joy against Carreras, who's done very well. I think the left back is pretty much solidifying his spot for Xabi Alonso as his new left back. Here's Igor. He's looked bright. Oh, the chance there. The header from Militao is brilliant. Whip ball in by Igor to Aubameyang. Defending there by Eder Militao is vintage stuff. Well, 2 minutes remain here. Time running out for Marseille. Really is now or never. Ball into the box. Decent header there by the skipper. Well, Balerdi has covered a lot of ground to try and get there first and get his header on it. I think Real Madrid might feel that they're home and dry now. Xabi Alonso will be wiping off that sweat off his forehead. De Zerbi will be feeling that this was missed opportunity. He'll feel that his team have deserved at least a point. But in football, you seldom get what you deserve. 90 seconds of stoppage time remain here. Decent flick on. Heavy touch there by Tchouaméni, but he brings that under control expertly and finds Vinicius. What a beautiful touch that was. Good defending though. Greenwood trying the back heel. Carreras defends well. A minute of stoppage time remains here. Alvaro Carreras has really boosted his reputation. Well, Ferland Mendy has not been able to stay fit, or he's been a bit too inconsistent for managers. Carreras, a Spanish fullback, understanding the system, going through the grind of playing for Benfica, not getting his chance for Manchester United, and now being the first choice left back for Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid. Well, 15 seconds of stoppage time remain here. Marseille are really running out of time. They need to get the ball into the box as quickly as possible. They're still playing backward passes. Somebody needs to tell them that 7 minutes of stoppage time has been concluded, and the referee blows the full-time whistle, and it is Real Madrid who start their Champions League campaign with a nervy victory. Timothy Weah scored a brilliant goal on the break after some excellent work by Mason Greenwood in the build-up. He pinched the ball, he drove into the box, laid the pass off to Timothy Weah, who rifled it past Thibaut Courtois. And then a pair of Kylian Mbappe penalties. The first one was stonewall after Jeffrey Kondogbia fouled Rodrigo in the box. But the second one, after Danny Carvajal had picked up a straight red card, was a huge contentious moment. Medina adjudged to have handballed after making the challenge on Vinicius Jr. But Kylian Mbappe, nerveless from the spot, slotting it past Rui, who's had a very busy evening at the Santiago Bernabeu. Well, De Zerbi and the players will be disappointed with how the game has ended. They should be proud of the way that they competed. They went toe-to-toe with Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu and nearly came away with the point. Full time here at the Santiago Bernabeu. It's Real Madrid 2, Kylian Mbappe 2, Marseille